I've noticed lately that a lot of kids are being distracted from their families by the various technologies that have been made available to them. A lot of them now own iPhones or some form of tablet that serves as a distraction from the people around them. I go out more and see less and less family home evening activities happening in nearby parks, at restaurants, even in other people's homes. Monday nights aren't about family anymore. It's really kind of tragic. But there might be a way to solve this. Instead of just gathering the family around the dinner table and talking about school and sharing thoughts about the Sunday activities that you participated in the wing day, maybe sit around and do something together without technology. And my suggestion to fix everything is Dungeons and Dragons. Dungeons and Dragons is a role-playing game, tabletop, and it's all about creating a character and going through a world doing various types of adventures. Now, these adventures can be anything, and I mean anything, from a murder mystery on a train, to saving a princess from a dragon, to exploring a mine, to saving a town, to heck, you can even do Book of Mormon and Bible stories. The possibilities are endless. And that's because it's a very basic skeleton. It seems complicated and it's hard to explain, so I won't really super go into everything. But all you really need is 3 books. This guy, the Player's Handbook, then there's the Dungeon Master's Guide, and the Monster Manual. Now, the Dungeon Master's Guide and the Monster Manual I don't currently have, as they're with my sister, who is planning our campaign, but I'll try and explain what they are. So the Player's Handbook is the basics for players and even the Dungeon Master of how the game works. It explains how to make your character and how the combat works, and even some basic ideas of backstories for your character. Then there's the Dungeon Master's Guide, which is all the rules the master needs to know to properly make the game run, as they are the one in charge, they're the boss. It also explains maybe some basic story ideas if you really don't know where to send your players. Then the Monster's Manual is just a place where the Dungeon Master can pull out some monsters to throw at you to fight, because what's a game without some things to fight? So I'm going to show you my character that I have in my most recent campaign. Ooh-ba-doo. This blessed child, this one right here with the wizard hat, is my elf, my drow elf, Kadia. She is a wild mage, so her magic goes chaotic whenever she casts spells or does anything the Dungeon Master doesn't like, which is kind of often. So over here I have her character sheet. It looks jumbled because of all the erase marks, but you do have to keep track of some numbers. So up here is just those character details, her name, her class, her background, all that kind of stuff, who the player is. And then over here you have your stats. Now these are decided via dice rolls, and they are what determines what gets added to your rolls, as all of this is played with dice. Again, see, no need for technology, just paper, pencil, and some dice. And I would go more into it, but I could be here for hours. It also is just 2 pages long. In older editions, this is the 5th one. In all older editions, the character sheets used to be 5 pages long, and it was kind of ridiculous. So right here, these are the dice you usually use: 20-sided, 4-sided, the really weird-sided dice you always hear people joke about. And it is a little weird, but it's kind of fun to collect. I have way too many sets, as they're only like $5 to $8 a pop, since, you know, a lot of dice. So you don't need much to get started. It's kind of expensive to start since the books are really expensive, but once you have them, and they're good for a very long time. And it has brought so many people together. There's me and my sister. We were in a horrible relationship for a very long time after I graduated junior high. and it just was rocky the entire way. And D&D happened to be the thing that got us back together. I don't know why, but it's almost a testament of how powerful this game is. We were just able to concentrate on working together to beat my husband, who is the DM, and beat all of his little baddies. Another good example is The Adventure Zone, a podcast done by three brothers and their father. This story, oh my goodness, if you're okay with foul language, I highly recommend this podcast, as it shows the importance of bonds, and it really shows in the people who ended up playing these characters. The characters grew along with their players. The father of the situation, he used to work at a radio station and finally decided to retire in order to join his three sons in this podcasting D&D thing as his full-time job. A father's dream come true of working with his kids, which was really important, especially since their mother left them at such a young age and their dad had to work a lot. And it really shows even in the brothers, after they all got married and went to separate parts of the country, this is something that gets them back together on a weekly basis. And the oldest brother has shared with us his emotional feelings on the situation, that he is so grateful that they decided to do this so that they could bring their father in to enjoy each other's company and just laugh and be with each other. That's what I think we need for Family Home Evening, is something like that to bring us all back together again. Dungeons and Dragons, I think it's the way to go.